agent. There are certain players that come through the draft that alter the way the game is played. And after doing research on this, going back to the draft lottery when it started in 1985, I composited a quick list of the guys that I think really altered the way the game was playing, things that we never seen done before. Patrick Ewing, obviously, he's in the room with the style in which he played. Shaquille O'Neal with his physical dominance. Tim Duncan, probably the best power forward we've ever seen in the game, coming into the game, not retrospectively looking back on the game. AI, because of the culture. LeBron in 2003. And now I think Zion Williamson, that guy who can play positionless basketball, he will be in that category.
And Zion Williamson may not be the best player we've ever seen, but we've never seen anybody like Zion Williamson on a basketball court. His athleticism and his explosiveness is literally off the charts. I mean, he outjumped the vertical leap device when he got to Duke. And look at that block shot he had on DeAndre Hunter of Virginia. Came from the other side of the court. He's a great passer. He's got a really high basketball IQ, and he's excellent on the defensive end. He can guard multiple positions. He gets 2.5 steals a game, takes it the other way. An excellent shot blocker, rim protector, and a guy that is relentless on the offensive glass. His explosion is truly unbelievable. His second jump is better than the first jump of a lot of great athletes. We've never seen anything like this guy on a basketball floor. He is truly jaw-dropping in his ability.
Rachel, the Knicks.
I think we're embarrassing him. Do you think we're embarrassing him? Let's embarrass him a little more. Come on, go ahead.
You better get used to it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rachel, the Knicks, there are a lot of trade packages they might like to put together this springtime to try to go get Anthony Davis from New Orleans. They're one of the two teams he has said he would re-sign with if traded to. But one trade package I'm told that they have no intention of making is if they get that #1 overall pick,
Man.
Zion Williamson is playing at Madison Square Garden this season.
That is how good everyone expects him to be. We don't want to waste another minute. The team representatives are taking their places on stage. We're going to take a quick commercial break while they get organized. And when we come back, the lottery order reveal will begin in the next segment. Stay with us. He was the #6 overall pick in the 2012 draft, and tonight he and his Blazers are back in his hometown of Oakland to take on the defending champion Golden State Warriors. That's coming up right at the conclusion of this event. And here are some headlines so you know what you're about to see. Tonight we find out which teams are going to get to cut to the front of the line in next month's draft. It used to be 3 teams, now it's 4 teams who could cop the order. And man, the Knicks, the Cavs, the Suns, they all have equal odds to get a shot at that top pick, and what a pick. We have projected #1 overall pick Zion Williamson, but come on, we can just cross that off, right? We all know he's the #1 pick. It's time to meet the representatives for the teams who are on stage tonight. You see Celtics president Rich Gotham and Sixers president Chris Heck. Which one of these gentlemen gets the pick depends on where it lands. The Heat have sent NBA champion Alonzo Mourning. James Araujo, wrapping up his first year as the Hornets head coach, is here. Lakers forward Kyle Kuzma is here. He's trying to bring his team some luck with that jacket. The Timberwolves have sent a new president of basketball operations. Congratulations to Gerson Rosas, who just got that job. The Mavericks have sent their powerhouse CEO, Cynthia Marshall. She's here. For Memphis, they sent the man with, guys, the coolest nickname in the building, right? Elliot Sox Perry. Repping New Orleans. No one's backing me up on that, Elliot. I'm with you. That's a great nickname. Repping New Orleans will be the new EVP of Basketball Ops, David Griffin. Washington has sent Vice Chairman Raul Fernandez. Atlanta has sent a member of its ownership group, actress Jamie Gertz, hoping for more than less than 0 tonight. And next up, the man who needs no introduction in Chicago, 4-time champion, Horace Grant. Hold for applause. Last year's #1 overall pick, DeAndre Ayton, is here for the Suns. And the Cavs have sent their good luck charm. Nick Gilbert, the son of owner Dan Gilbert, is here tonight. And here, repping the New York Knicks, the legend, Patrick Ewing. A quick look at the percentages of the teams with the best chances to win tonight. We have the Knicks, the Suns, the Cavs, 14% odds for that #1 pick. Your hometown Chicago Bulls, 12.5% odds for that #1 pick. The other teams could hop up in the lottery, and hey, it's like any lottery. If you don't play, you can't win. And here we go. This is NBA Executive Vice President and Chief Security Officer Jerome Pickett. When you see him, you know it has gotten serious. And in fact, he is escorting the only man in this ballroom who knows the results of the draft lottery, Darrington Hobson from the accounting firm of Ernst & Young, delivering these sealed envelopes to the table right now. So the time has come, Zion. Take a deep breath. We've got NBA Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum coming to the stage, who will reveal the lottery picks of the 2019 NBA Draft.
Thank you very much, Rachel, and good luck, everyone. Pick number 14 will be made by the Boston Celtics.
All right, this was originally Sacramento's pick, but it goes to Boston. If the pick had been number 1 overall, would have been to Philadelphia, but Celtics, you've got it.
The 13th pick belongs to the Miami Heat. Picking 12th will be the Charlotte Hornets. The 11th pick in the draft will go to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Wow, that means the Los Angeles Lakers have moved up. Kyle Kuzma's lucky jacket worked.
And it gives the Lakers a chance to get another asset to go after Anthony Davis in a trade.
Wow, this is going to get interesting.
Pick number 10 will be made by the Atlanta Hawks.
All right, so the pick goes to Atlanta due to the Luka Doncic Trae Young trade at last year's draft. Had the pick gone into the top 4, it would have stayed with Dallas, but sorry, Cynthia, we got to give the pick up to Jamie Gertz.
The 9th pick goes to the Washington Wizards.
Wow, all right, this means the Grizzlies moved up. We have a double jump, Woj.
And this was the flattening of the lottery odds. We were going to see more action like this.
The 8th pick will be made by the Atlanta Hawks.
That means that New Orleans has moved up. We have chaos here, people, absolute chaos. Dave, you're supposed to look more excited, David Griffin.
The 7th pick belongs to the Chicago Bulls.
Wow. So we know where Chicago will be drafting now. All right, that means the Lakers, Grizzlies, and Pelicans have moved up. 2 more to go.
Wow.
Pick number 6 goes to the Phoenix Suns.
So the Phoenix Suns have dropped out of the top of the lottery.
The idea, too, of New Orleans up that high, David Griffin's looking for someone to play with Anthony Davis, not to move him out.
1 more.
And the 5th pick will be made by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
So the Cleveland Cavaliers have been hoping for their 4th number 1 pick in 9 years. They won't be getting there, but it does mean that the New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing, you're moving on to the next round. Here is the draft party in New York. I think they're going to be happy, guys, when we see them. What do you think when it flashes to the screen? I'm guessing happiness. There we go. Stop filming yourselves. You're about to get a top pick in the draft, whoever it is. It's going to be exciting. Coming up, the drama is going to continue. Patrick Ewing is cool as a cucumber, but we're not, because the top 4 picks of the 2019 draft will be revealed. It's State Farm. Oh, look, it's Steph Curry. He was the number 7 overall pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, leading his Warriors tonight into their 5th consecutive Western Conference Finals. That's coming up right after the conclusion of the draft lottery here in Chicago. Zion, how you doing? You gonna be okay? Deep breaths, you're good? Oh, he's good. He gave us the thumbs up. We're in good shape. Check in on the draft parties, see how they're doing tonight. And let's look at our finalists for the number 1 pick. Representing the Los Angeles Lakers, their forward, Kyle Kuzma. Representing the Grizzlies, Elliott Sox Perry. I told you those Sox were lucky. And the Pelicans, David Griffin. And representing the Knicks, Patrick Ewing. We are down to the final 4. Let's bring in Commissioner Mark Tatum to seal this man's fate up here.
Thanks again, Rachel. The 4th pick in the 2019 NBA Draft goes to the Los Angeles Lakers. The 3rd pick goes to the New York Knicks. The 2nd pick will be made by the Memphis Grizzlies. And that means that the #1 pick in the 2019 NBA draft goes to the New Orleans Pelicans.
Wow. All right, barring a trade, New Orleans will pick first overall for just the second time in franchise history. New Orleans selected Anthony Davis with the top pick back in 2012. Davis asked for a trade, but I don't know, guys. Now Zion Williamson might be coming to town. Look how happy David Griffin looks. Our Maria Taylor is standing by to...
Well, congratulations, David.
Thank you.
You look pretty happy there. I see you're holding something. Can we just walk me through if this is a good luck
So
charm?
we did a contest in New Orleans. One of our ticket holders, Connie Halfin, gave us this. This is her lucky angel. It's a 56-year-old wooden angel. And when Cleveland won in 2014, I had my grandmother's angel on my shoulder. Connie was our angel here today.
All right. Well, congratulations to you too, Connie. And what would you say having the first pick again for the first time since 2012 means for this organization?
Well, I think it's just another positive event for us and what's going to be, we hope, several that we stack together. I think Mrs. Benson and her ownership group have invested in this very heavily. And my presence there and my desire to be there had everything to do with this community. So I'm really excited for our fan base, and we got a lot of work to do, but this is a good start.
When I say Zion, you say what?
We have a lot of work to do. This is a good start.
All right. Thank you for your time, Rachel.
Absolutely. All right. Let's take a look at the final draft lottery order. New Orleans Pelicans, second #1 pick in their history. You've got the Grizzlies, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Cavs, the Suns, the Bulls. And Woj, you heard this might happen tonight.
I stood over behind our stage with Dave Griffin about 90 minutes ago. He looked me in the eye and he said, we're going to win this draft lottery. We're going to get the #1 pick. And we're going to continue to work to convince Anthony Davis to stay here. It's not about talking in meetings. It's about showing him. And the whole narrative about Anthony Davis's future in New Orleans, I think, could be very different with Zion Williamson's arrival.
Man, as we said earlier tonight, the match is getting lit tonight, and the ripple effect is going to be crazy. Maria Taylor is with Zion Williamson right now.
All right, Zion, all eyes were on you several times. You looked a little nervous while you were sitting down. How do you feel right now?
Still nervous. I don't know why. I'm just still nervous. Maybe because, yeah, like you said, all eyes were on me. And I think it's a lot to take in because I don't know where I'm going to be.
Well, when you saw New Orleans got the #1 pick, you didn't think for a second, oh, I could be in New Orleans?
It's definitely a possibility, but, I mean, it's not sure until it actually happens.
Have you ever been before?
I've never been.
Let's talk through your game and what potentially it could bring to whatever team you end up with.
It's my will to win, and whatever that team needs me to do, I'm going to be able to do it.
And we saw a guy named, Anthony Davis be picked by New Orleans with the #1 overall pick. How does your game maybe compare to his and the ability that he had to make a difference in the league?
Definitely the versatility, the ability to block shots and rebound, and I think just want to win.
All right, well, Zion wants to win. He's still a little nervous, though, guys, but he knows potentially where he could end up now that New Orleans has the #1 pick.
Thank you so much, Maria and Zion. I want to get your guys' quick reaction to the fact that he is most likely going to the New Orleans Pelicans.
Well, first of all, it's amazing that the new system that the NBA put in had this kind of excitement to it. Really remarkable in the first year, and I think it's got to make everybody feel good about the decision. But for David Griffin to step into this job and to say to you, Woj, that hey, we want to convince Anthony Davis to stay and have this happen, I mean, that's some nice cards for him to hold as we go toward the draft and to be able to make a case to Anthony Davis that New Orleans is where he should stay.
Especially with Julius Randle having that player option, too. You think about what that front court could be like with Zion Williamson and Anthony Davis if they can get him to stay. But I'm going to go down to the #4 pick, too, Rachel. Everybody's talking about this being a 3-player draft. Now, there's some other formidable players, but if you think about the Lakers, it brings back value to the offseason again with free agency. You're not going to land a Zion Williamson, or R.J. Barrett, or a Ja Morant. You're right on the outside of that. You know, what's the next move for Rob Pelinka and also LeBron James?
Right, and even if New Orleans can't keep Anthony Davis and they have to trade him, they've jump-started
Yes.
their
Sure.
rebuild because they're going to get a great package back. And how about Memphis at number 2, an heir to Mike Conley at point guard, Ja Morant? That's going to the impact on that franchise can't be underestimated.
And to have R.J. Barrett potentially going to New York to play for the Knicks. I mean, that's an impressive move for that kid who is worthy of the number 1 pick. I mean, a year ago, he was the presumptive number 1 pick that was headed toward this draft.
And Jay, you mentioned the new system. We had so many changes, right? We don't normally see this in the top of the draft. What do you think this is going to be in terms of the effect on the league and the decisions they make about, as you say, trying not to encourage the race to the bottom?
It's going to have a giant impact because teams, to just see this lottery, to see 3 teams jump up in there and New Orleans to win it, it just reaffirms what the numbers said was going to happen, that having the worst record or one of the 3 worst records in the league was not much of an advantage. You had an 86% chance to not get the number 1 overall pick.
And it's funny, you guys were talking about this year's draft class. As you say, there seems to be a little bit of a drop after number 3. But we just showed Steph Curry. He was not expected to be a 2-time MVP. There are players later in this draft who can make an impact.
There are. Jared Culver is a kid from Texas Tech. He's a great wing. Kobe White, like Jay mentioned at the beginning of the show, from North Carolina. Also a guy, Darius Garland. Now, he didn't play this year for Vanderbilt, but he's one of the top guards in the country, and his ability to shoot, defend, and he's a speedster with the ball, kind of like Ja Morant. He's a special type player.
The difference is this draft is not as deep with top-flight talent. There are going to be some second-round talents in most drafts that are going to go in the first round this year, and usually it's the opposite. You have first-round talents that wind up in the second round.
All right, but there are still good players out there. If you're watching and your team is not the New Orleans Pelicans, there's still exciting things happening ahead. I want to get back to Zach Lowe because, as you guys know, he was sequestered in the secret room. Let's just call it like it is. He was being held hostage. I believe that they have finally let him out. Zach, what have you got for us?
Oh my God, Rachel. The most enthusiastic reaction I've ever seen in this room before was all those years ago when New Orleans won the lottery for Anthony Davis. Dell Demps offered up an enthusiastic fist pump underneath the table. I'm very happy to report that Alvin Gentry beat that out by a huge margin. He stood up, may have let out an expletive, and just started running around high-fiving all the people behind him, and everybody loved it. And it was just the wild to see. I mean, you can't even make this up. The whole lottery was going to be about, oh my gosh, what does it mean for the Anthony Davis sweepstakes? What about the Knicks? What about the Lakers? And Anthony Davis's team won the lottery. The entire room went crazy. There were gasps, there were shrieks, and then, of course, the Knicks and the Lakers are up there too. It was an absolutely wild scene. I was glad to witness it, and now I'm going to run up and talk to everyone up there. Back to you.
Zach, you didn't say if any of those shrieks was you shrieking, but we've got a recording. We'll find out later. Now, with the lottery order set, I want to get it over to Mike Schmitz for the top 5 picks in ESPN's mock draft.
Yeah, Zion to the Pelicans is a clear win. That's a no-brainer. We know that. But number 2 is when you start having some debate. Is it Ja Morant? Is it R.J. Barrett? We're going to go with Ja Morant in Memphis. We think he can play with Mike Conley initially and then kind of be the heir apparent there. And that's huge for the New York Knicks. R.J. Barrett is built to have that big city mentality. He's not afraid of the lights. So that's a huge win there. And then Darius Garland to the Lakers. He can play with Lonzo Ball. He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball because of his shooting stroke. And then lastly, DeAndre Hunter to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Great. Thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate it. All right, can we get a little tail of the tape from you guys?
Sure, let's do it.
From what he was just talking about?
You talking about Ja and RJ?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think it's a tough call. I agree with Mike that it's not a no-brainer. I would take Ja Morant first. But if you go with the shooting, Jay, I think I would lean toward Ja Morant, although when he gets his feet set, the lefty R.J. Barrett can knock shots down. He's got to improve his free throw shooting, and Ja Morant's a much better free throw shooter. Morant's also a better passer.
I would agree. When you look at the size, the length, I like RJ, but the style in which to play. I mean, look, same reason the Arizona Cardinals drafted Kyler Murray, right? You need a quarterback. You need a point guard, especially in today's age of pace and space. And there's nobody better to learn underneath, if you're Ja Morant, than Mike Conley Jr., a guy who's been plagued by injuries for most of his career, but his basketball IQ is off the charts.
It is going to be so good. A lot of draft coverage over the next month. Next up, the NBA Draft Combine is going to be Thursday and Friday. That's going to be on ESPN2. And then, of course, the 20th. That is it.